Hello, hello, Beady friends, and welcome. Kyle here. And this is going to be part two for me, as this is the second time I'm trying to make this video. Actually, I did make this video, and then I realized as I was uploading it to YouTube that I didn't have it in the right camera mode, so it would have been where you had all the white lines and the blocking, and I don't want to put you guys through that, so we're going to reshoot this one. So how are you today? Yes. Anyway, today we have a fly who is apparently visiting us. How are you, sir? If you don't mind, we're in the process of something. Today we have an earring that I made using the August edition of Didi's Deluxe Bead Box. So basically what I did here was I turned this little bead frame into a handy dandy connector, and I made a punky little kind of rock and roll industrial glitzy, earring. So we're going to do that today. But guys, I also did want to show you because we are featuring these bead connectors. You can do so much with these guys. They're I keep calling them connectors. They're bead frames, and you can use them as such. You can put a little bead in there and then run your materials through here, line up the holes, and you can stick a little bead in there. But you can also use it as a connector. What we did here was we made this into a wire wrap connector. You can not do the wire wraps, and you can just do a simple loop there, and that will work just as well. And and so you can do that. But you can also, if you are just doing a necklace or a bracelet or what have you, and you've got some fun bead stringing wire, maybe you have a nice color of soft flex, you can just bead that through here, and just the beading wire would show, and that might be a fun little aesthetic. Or you could also, use our friends, the seed beads. That's what I call them, my friends. I will not let seed beads conquer me. But you can grab some of our friends, and you can use like, maybe 2 8/0s might fit in there. Or you can use, first you want to put this on the little connector. And then I just like to bring this out here, and then I will load a couple of these little seeds on there. Well, I think we could do 3. These are 11s. I believe we can fit 3 11s in there, and we can. And then we'll just go and thread this through here. Hope I can get it. There we go. And there you go. You can have like a couple little seed beads floating around in there. Just a couple really fun ideas that you can do with these guys. So today we are going to be turning these into connectors with wrap loops, though, because I think it's just, I kind of like the spacing. I think it's kind of cool. So what you are going to need today are, and you don't have to have the box, guys, to make this design. Whatever bead, if you have 2 beads in your stash that are, would look really good in something like this. Maybe you have some different kind of flowers. Maybe you've got some really pretty teardrops. Whatever you have in your stash will work. You are the artiste, you decide. But if you are using the box, you would need 2 of these flowers. You are going to need 2 eye pins. You are also going to need 4 head pins. And you can either use your regular head pins, or, which is what we're going to do. And what happens is they kind of disappear into the design, and you don't really see them. But if you wanted to do a cool little funky aesthetic, you could use a ball head pin, and that will give you, so if you were to use 2 of those, then you would just have this little funky, you'd have little 2 balls here, which is kind of cool, like a little floaty ball there. We're fans of the balls. Anyway, so yeah. But you're going to need 4 of those. Also, guys, pro tip, listen, I don't know, maybe some of you might have some of these funky head pins that maybe we ordered thinking they were really good deals from places, and then when you get them, they're like not seated, like the foot is like making a hard left or a hard right. That's left, hard left or a hard right, it's not quite on there. It's like an L. This is a great way to use up some of those head pins, because it'll disappear and you won't see it. So I have a lot of those kind of head pins. So this is a good design for me. Okay, so you're going to need 4 of those. You are also going to need 2 ball head pins, 2 eye pins. We got that covered. 1 ear wire. Guys, no jump rings, none of that. You're also going to need a little 6mm bead or whatever of your bead of your choice for the top. I'm using the 6mm hematite bead. And then you need your connectors, guys. If you have any kind of other bead frames, if you don't have these kind, that's fine. Any kind of little bead frame will work. All right, so let's start out by making our connector. And we're going to move some of this junk to the side. Okay. And so we're going to take our pointy end. Sorry, guys. We're going to take the pointy end of our wire and we are going to go through the bottom, the inside diameter. So we're going to go through the inside. Pull that up, and then that head pin will just disappear in there. And now you've got this little lollipop dude. Okay. Oh, so tools, you're going to need some of those too. So I will use a cutter. We will have some round nose pliers, and we will have some regular pliers, round nose pliers. Not a whole, and it's not very tool heavy, so it's a good project for that. Now, like I said, you can do one of 2 things here. You can make this into a wrap loop connector, or you can make this into a simple loop connector. If you were to do a simple loop connector, you would just go ahead and bend the wire here at the connector. But we are doing a wrapped loop, so we're going to not bend the wire at the connector. We are going to put our pliers in here. And then we are going to bend the wire over the pliers, creating this little space. And then we're going to take our round nose pliers. We're going to go ahead and put them in here. Now, guys, the one thing that is important to remember about this design is symmetry. So you want to make sure that your loops and the spaces in between your wraps match up on your connectors. So I think we've created enough space to make, I believe, 4 wraps. And I think this is the size loop that we are going for. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this wire over those pliers. Spinny dinny. Whoa, did y'all hear that? That was thunder. That just scared me out of my boots. I might have to rush now because we might lose power. Okay, bring that over. I like to switch hands, and I just like to make sure my loop is nice and round. Now this wire I'm using here is a little bit thinner gauge, so I will use my pliers, and we're going to go ahead and make our wraps. And guys, take your time. We're just you really just want nice, consistent wraps, right? Just nice, consistent wraps. Okay. And like I said, we got about 4 in there. And then we're just going to go ahead and just there and then cut at this snippy dippy, snippity doo-dah. Guys, someday I'm going to have a merch line, and I'm so going to have like snippity doo-dah on everything. We're going to have Stanley cups with snippity doo-dah. We're going to do it all. We're going to do it all. So go ahead. And sometimes I like to, and you can do this with a tool, but I like to kind of hold it at the loop here. And then I will walk that home. I will walk that closed. Whereas I like to say, if you're on a date and it's a good date and you want to walk your date to the door, you're not just dropping them off at the curb. You want to walk them to the door nicely. And that's how we're going to do that. Okay. I'm just going to straighten that out a little bit. And that's what you should have on the one side. I totally just forgot I was on camera. Like, that thunder really shook me. I wasn't expecting it. So if I've been off frame this whole time, I do apologize. Oh, guys, guess what? I got my Ipsy yesterday. So we're going to be doing Ipsy soon. Okay. So we're going to take our pointy end and we're going to insert that into the inside of that frame. Pull that through like so. Yeah. And I have so much news, guys. Oh, friends, I have so much good news, like personal wise, professional wise. My friends, we are going places. Okay. I have so much news. But before we can get to the news, let's get through this project, shall we? So we're going to go ahead and, like I said, make sure you're being consistent. I believe that's about a four wrapper there. Bending the wire over the pliers. bringing in our round nose pliers, we're putting that about the same place because we want to make sure those loops are consistent. Bringing that over, spin that around a little bit. Oh my goodness. And then bring that back around. Switch hands. Then we like to check our loop here, make sure that's nice and centered and that's looking sexy. Then we'll take our pliers. There we go. Take our pliers and we'll do the thing. Okay. Nice, tight, consistent wrap. You don't really want a messy wrap in this. You want a nice wrap. There we go. You want a nice wrap in there. Just because this is kind of like, I don't know, I feel like the wraps kind of remind me of like punky little coils, you know, and I kind of like springs or something, like steampunk almost. Could just be my brain and too much caffeine, but that's what it reminds. These cutters are going in the trash soon. Soon as I can afford new ones, my friends, because I ding these pretty bad. And they are not, my goodness, okay, Mr. Cutter, that was a little dramatic. Yeah, I dinged them really bad, and it's my fault. It's not the cutter's fault, so I can't be mad at the cutters. I cannot. So again, I'm just going to go ahead, find this little tipsy Russell. What is going on? And we're just going to go ahead and walk her close because she's pretty and we like her and she was fun. She was a fun date, so we don't want to just drop her off. We want to make sure she's in the building properly. Okay, and then we have made this fun little component. If it seems a little wonky, you can go ahead and just gently kind of make it a little bit straighter with your fingers. And I like that. And now you've made this little funky wrap component. It will sometimes spin, you know, but that's okay. Because we're using this bead at the bottom, which is two-sided, so I don't mind if it spins because both sides are gorgeous. So that's really, if you have a bead like that or a two-sided bead, it's perfect. And you can use this in a necklace, right? You can make a whole bunch of these. I think we got 8 or 10 in the bag. You can just go ahead and make a bunch of links and then put beads in between and make a little bracelet or part of a necklace. You know, you can do a lot with these bead frames as far as making connectors. But we are using them as connectors, so I digress. So we are going to now bring in our flower and our ball head pin. Okay, and we're just going to do a simple loop here, so you can either bend the wire over top of the bead if your wire is pliable enough. I'm just conditioned by nature to use my tools. So I'm just going to put that at the base of the tool, and then I'm just going to kind of bend down and bite with my fingers. Again, you can just push this over if you would like. It's completely up to you. And then my cutters. So I will go ahead and measure, and what I think is so darn cute is so many of us actually use our fingertips to measure. So, I mean, we must all have the same fingertip size. I swear. I swear it's so much fun. So I will use my fingertip to measure. And I think this is about 1/4 inch. Let's say it's about maybe 1/4 inch. I want just a little bit less. That's a little bit more than I wanted. There we go. Okay, and then we're just going to make a wrap loop here. So we're going to take our round nose pliers, and what I like to do is I'll just like to start the loop, and then I'll come in here and I'll just go ahead and match that back up, and then I'll just roll my wrist. I don't know why I do it like that. Then I'll come in here because this looks pretty funky, right? That's like a hard P, man. That's a hard P. But what you do is you will come in here and you will just break the neck. So we'll do some of this nonsense. And then we will come in here, and it's still not a great loop. It could have been a better loop. Could have been a better loop, but that's okay. I'll fix it up and make her pretty. There we go. I'll just straighten her out. All right, she's not terrible now. She's not terrible now. She's passable. But you want to make sure that this loop is closed first, and then you're going to reopen it. And then you're going to go ahead and attach this to the connector. One side of your connector. Oh my goodness, Kyle. All right, now we're going to go ahead and close. And we're always closing up and down, right? Always up and down. So there we have this half. Now you are going to need your eye pin. So you're going to go ahead and same rules apply. Always open your eye pin, swinging it up. And we are going to take the eye pin and connect it onto the other side of the connector. Pull that back down, make sure that is nice and closed. And then we are going to put our topper on, which is this gorgeous little 6mm hematite. Now what we want to do here, because we want to keep symmetry, we're going to want to make the loop going opposite of this loop. So this loop is going to face us. And as soon as I move my fat little sausage out of the way, you will see we're going to have this loop face us here. And then we're going to have this loop up at the top going the other way. So that's going to face away from us. See what I'm saying? And we do this because our ear wire, the loop is facing. So we kind of need to, like, you know, do the loop thing. The loop shuffle. So everything matches. Trust me, it'll work. All right. So let's go ahead and use our finger to cut the wire. It looks about good. I might have cut that one a little shorter than I wanted, but we'll make it work. Okay, it's not a bad loop. It's a better loop than I was expecting. Okay. Go ahead and make sure that closes. And it does. And see how that loop is now facing this other? So now we can open that loop up and we can insert our ear wire here. And then this way, this will all hang properly and everything will make sense. And everyone will be happy. There you go, guys. There she is. Let's get the other one. Like I said, either side is gorgeous. Either side is gorgeous. Let's get them together. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Oh, they fell on the, oh, there's one on each side. There's one, so you can see either side is beautiful. And just a fun little rock and roll funky pair of earrings. I do prefer the colored side. That's just me. That's what speaks to my soul. Oh my gosh, guys, yesterday, I just wanted to show you real quick. I probably shouldn't, but I've never really done wire wrapped earrings before. But yesterday I took a chance and I did a pair of wire wrapped earrings. And they're not like the most prettiest ever, but I'm so proud of myself. Look at these little babies. Look what I did. Aren't they pretty? I'm learning, friends. I'm learning. I have not done a lot of wire wrapping over the years. I have not. So we're learning. And I just was so proud of myself that I did those yesterday. Okay, anyway, that was my win for the day, guys. It is Friday. I hope you had a bunch of wins during the week. And I hope your weekend is also full of wins. I will link all of the stuff in the description box. I will link, this box is sold out, but I will link Didi's shop just in case you, and just in case she sells these flowers. I'm not sure, I haven't checked. But she might have these or other things like it on sale that you might enjoy. And I will also link the Facebook stuff in the description as well. Guys, her Facebook page is where you kind of want to go and find out all the drops and the information and the details. And also for a whole bunch of inspiration and all kinds of fun stuff. I highly recommend her Facebook group. All right, guys. Like I said, have a great weekend. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.